everyone. So today I made a batch of soap that I am calling Gold. It is scented in a duplicate of Happy for Women by Clinique. And it is a 4-pound batch. It's a double batch of what the size I usually make is. And you will get to see what happens when a plan goes wrong. I had a plan in mind for my design and it did not go according to plan, but that's all right. I think it's still going to turn out pretty neat. It's just not at all what I had originally imagined. It's also going to be lightly scented. I did not add how much fragrance oil I would usually add, mostly because I didn't have the full amount on hand, but also because this fragrance can be kind of overpowering, and I think that the subtle fragrance is kind of nice sometimes. Not everyone likes to, come out of the shower bathed in fragrance. So, hope you guys enjoy this one. So I decided to be a little lazy, didn't want to go and get another larger bowl to sterilize. I was trying to put it all in this bowl. I have larger bowls, I just didn't want to go get one and clean it up, but as you can see, it is right to the edge, and the handle of this bowl, it was literally pouring down the handle at one point. So I got it all in here. I stirred it up just a little bit and I poured a little bit off into my other container so that I could mix them both a little bit separately and then mix them back together once they were emulsified. So here I'm pouring off my soap batter into my neon colorants, and I always treat my neons a little bit different than I do my normal micas. They require just a little bit of extra mixing in my opinion, just to make sure that they're thoroughly mixed into the batter. So I will use a milk frother to make sure that they are thoroughly incorporated before adding them to the rest of my batter.
So my original plan for this soap was to do something called the kiss pour technique. It's actually a technique that was started with acrylic pour, which is it's a really pretty technique. It's something that I would recommend that you Google images of just to see how cool it is. But you'll see me kind of layer the colors into the pitcher and then try to pour 2 pitchers at one time into the mold to get this striation effect. The problem is I use the heat transfer method when mixing my lye and my oils together. So my batter is already a little warm, which most people don't use the heat transfer method. They let their lye come down to room temperature and their oils, they'll melt and let them come down to room temperature so that it's not too warm, which I've done that before too, but this is a faster way to make soap, so this is the way that I do it. And the fragrance oil that I chose is
more on the floral side, and florals are very notorious for accelerating soap batter. And accelerating soap batter means that it causes your soap batter to thicken up much faster than usual. I didn't even think about that when I chose my fragrance oil. I was thinking Happy for Women. You know, it's kind of a fruity scent, so I was thinking I would be free and clear. Didn't even think to look and see, is this an accelerating soap fragrance? I don't know why. I usually check all of that stuff, but I had it in my head that I wanted to use this scent, so I figured I'd give it a try. But it's not a big deal, because you'll see that I've wound up, you know, just layering it in there in a way that it's still going to be a really pretty swirl. It's just not going to be what I had originally anticipated. And that's kind of the fun of the fun of soap making, in my opinion, because you kind of get to think on the fly too, and problem solve on your feet, and you still come out with some really cool looking soap. See, my batter is just so thick, I'm not anywhere close to getting the striation effect that I originally was going for. Next time I try this, I will be doing it the correct way, with letting my lye and my soap batter come down to room temperature and choosing a different fragrance oil, if any at all. But I do want to try this again and see if I can get the kiss pour technique down, because I think it's a really cool technique to try. And see, at this point, I'm just plopping it into the mold, just getting it in there, because you see how thick it is. And I think it's still gonna turn out really pretty. I'll be able to cut it in probably about 1 to 2 days, and I think that it'll still turn out really cool. I'm not even gonna be able to cut it the way that I originally anticipated cutting it. I'm just gonna cut it like usual. But I think we'll still get some really cool bars out of it. So I hope you all enjoyed this soap fail, but I hope it was a win. So hope to see you all back for the cut in a couple of days.